The rest of the world. September. Mexico.
Hey Dante.
Así se siente México, así se siente México, así como unos labios por la piel. Así te envuelve México, así te sabe México, así se lleva México en la piel.
Hello everyone, welcome back to From the Deck, and today I want to tell you that this video is rated PG-13 because I care about the children. So if you are at least 13 years old, you are fine, but if you are under that age, I would suggest you to watch something else just because I'm protecting you from some harsh reality. With that being said, I want to declare first of all that a war crime is not a war crime if the person who did it has not declared a war, and I haven't. Second of all, the person or the population that declares the war crime or commits the war crime has to be an established nation and accepted by the UN. And the Burning Abyss is not an established nation. And third of all, the Geneva Conventions are more of a guideline. It's not a rule, it's not something you have to be strict on. So whatever you're going to see here, this is technically not a war crime because it follows all of the guidelines. With that being said, let's just jump right into the deck profile. Obviously this is Burning Abyss, probably the best version of it probably in years I have covered. I have come to my senses. Burning Abyss is a deck that you have to play pure, because every Burning Abyss monster just blows itself, so there is no point really. We're pretty much open with the standard opening, standard ratios, 3 Tour Guide, 3 Fiendish Rhino Warrior, 3 Graph, and 2 Seer. Or basic starters. This is pretty much what your engine gets started on. Everything you see here at the moment is your normal summon of the game. You don't want to open 2 of these because then you have to choose, and choosing is for nerds. So you just go with the boldest decision. Obviously Tour Guide is probably the least preferred opener because it dies to every single hand trap in the game. At least Fiendish Warrior Rhino can do a couple of things, and most people don't Baylor Incarnate for some reason, so yeah, that's something that happens. Then for rest of Burning Abyss names, to Farfa, to Skarm, to Libich, a Barbar, a Kahna, a Kalkap, an Alich, a Drahig, and a Rubich. Every single Burning Abyss monster that can special summon itself from the hand is here. Why? Because opening any number of these is actually pretty cool, and even some of these can chain link a lot. So in instance, if you want to trigger Graph's effect and you detach Graph from Dante and you mill a Drahig, then you can just chain block that Graph because Drahig just puts something on the top of the deck and that cannot get Ash Puzzle, so it is pretty cool. I mean, it dies to DD Crow as most of the deck, but you cannot prepare for every single hand trap. And speaking of hand traps, why don't we just jump right into this territory, okay? For hand traps, I'm playing triple Schoolmeister, very good hand trap. It can hit a lot of things in this format, believe it or not, so played 3 of it. 2 Ash Blossom and a Ghost Bell. This should be either 3 Ash Blossom or 3 Ghost Bell, whoever you want to play. They pretty much hit almost every single card in the format, because for some reason cards decided to add things from the hand or special summon for the graveyard, so that's pretty cool. And your 3 Baylor and 3 Droll and Lockbird. This is debatable. The Baylor is a little bit debatable because you could play Impermanence and it pretty much does the same thing. In some cases Impermanence is better, but I go with the Baylor just because of something. It doesn't die to a Harpy's Feather Duster, and it also is a very good resource to just keep in hand. So that's all really I consider for Baylor to be superior. but I guess it's up to you whether you want to play Impermanence or Failure. And finally, just to round it up nice and dandy for 40 cards, the one Called by the Grave, the one Imperial Order, and the 3 Anti-Spell Fragments, because hating spell cards is the name of the game, and if you open any combination of these, you're pretty much rolling up. The Call by the Grave is even not necessary, you can pretty much substitute this with Foolish Burial or whatever, but I think Call by the Grave is just a better way to interact with your opponent. Pretty much standard list, not gonna lie. Pretty much everyone else is playing it a little bit like this. Some are playing more traps, some are playing more hand, so it's up to you. For the extra deck, however, this is where it gets interesting. If you're like me who likes to play budget and really doesn't have the money to buy very expensive things, you can start with Tridante, Tour Guide, the PK Breaksword, and of course Utopic Future and Utopic Brachio Future. It is a negate. This deck has the potential to put 2 rank 3s on the field pretty much easily by its own means, so going into Utopic Future Draco is something that isn't out of the water, and every single Xyz here has its own function. You can probably substitute a Dante if you have the money for a Zeus, but I don't have the money, so we just play what we have access to. That's why a Breaksword is a very good substitute. It doesn't do the same, but it is still a way of removal for things that annoy you, like most things. Only one fusion, Dante, because Dante fusion it comes up even more now than before, so one fusion. For links, we have all the links in the world. We start with Cherubini, IP Masquerena, the 2 players basically. These 2 gamers, you almost summon them every single game, so they collaborate pretty much easily. Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Unicorn as your Nightmare package. People underestimate Nightmare Phoenix nowadays because I've seen a lot of people cry about reactive back row removal, so in case you get Ghost and Match, Tickaboo, Imperial Order or whatever, they say play Twin Twisters and you'll be fine. And that's correct, any number of these is fine, but just having something in the extra deck and not recurring to have Harpy's Feather Duster get negated by Imperial Order, it's something uncomfortable, so Nightmare Phoenix is a very good card. Again, because we don't have the money for Ceroboros being of course a substitute to Access Code, it doesn't do the same obviously, but it is still a very good card. And finally, just to control a little bit the field, you can play Apollousa Bow of the Goddess, and to get rid of that pesky Link 5 that Addigmister has, you can play Underworld Goddess of the Close or whatever word. This card is very good against Ad Imposter because it just gets rid of the Link pretty much easily, and then from there you just win the game. Now, I will show you in a bit what the deck looks like when you have money, but this is pretty much what I like to play, what I enjoy playing, and a little couple of tweaks there probably makes it a little bit better. I will show you the side first. Remember, sides are depending on the meta that you face, so here we go. I will start with 3 Kaijus, 2 Gameciel and 1 Gadarla, just in case you face that barrier statue of the Storm Winds. Triple Lightning Storm, because Lightning Storm is a card that is going down in price, so you can probably afford this in its ultra print, and it is pretty cool. It is still very viable. Harpy's Feather Duster, the 3 Twin Twisters, because as I said, people are going for reactive back row removal nowadays, so why not? Triple Dark Ruler No More and 2 Evenly Match. Pretty much anything that can get rid of any problem your opponent can put on the field is seen here. Obviously not Forbidden Droplets, because once again I don't have the money for that. Okay, so this is what the deck will look like effectively if you want to play a full-time Warcrime deck. The inclusion of 5 cards is essential because not only it offsets those 3 garnets that you are seeing right there, but it also gives you more hand tools to work with basically. So the changes are: put 1 Pancratops and Edging Sabers to the main and add the Dragoon package. Obviously, that means to take out the Underworld Goddess and the Appaloosa, but you gain Dragoon and all of its advantages. Obviously, I also changed Ceroboros for access code, and here I even did another thing. I changed the Dante fusion for Stus because I think 3 Dantes is still the way to do it. Everything else is pretty much the same. But if you don't like this version because for some reason Dragoon is going to get hit either by Red Eye Fusion, by itself, I have another version for you, don't worry, I can show you. Here we have what I call Abyss, the hero Abyss. So you wait until Phoenix Enforcer, which is pretty much Dragoon 2.0, and you play 5 cards. These 5 cards are actually not that big of a deal, except for Malicious probably. And even then, I will probably just keep it as a discard order, because Fusion Destiny is worded differently than Red Eye Fusion, and as a result of that, you can do all of your combo and then activate Fusion Destiny from your hand. So even if Bertie Anaconda gets banned, the only difference that you need to do is take out this one call by the graveyard here and put in the Fusion Destiny. And for the extra deck, you take out this Bertie Anaconda and put whatever other thing you want to play, because of course this deck is very capable of doing so. And this thing, Phoenix Enforcer, is a very hard thing about. Basically, you have to kill it twice probably in the same turn for it to just be gone forever. And most people play Dasher for this combo because Dasher is the superior version of it. I don't practically enjoy Dasher because it also summons a monster, yes, but the monster special summon by Dasher doesn't get its negated or whatever. So if you draw a Burn Abyss monster, probably you are going to special summon it and then it dies. There's no point in that. So I instead prefer the Malicious combo because it is again another body on the field, and you can play the new hero, the level 3 that recycles. The problem is that you can only summon heroes. I don't like that a lot, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is probably the best version of the deck. I think it has more potential. I think a couple of changes in hand traps and whatnot would even give you an even better board or even better presence. And I definitely feel that going second build is probable. I just don't know how to do it. I tried a couple of months probably do this going second version of it, but I got bodied every time I try it. The last version being on Ignacerian's Twitch stream. I got 2-0 quickly because that deck I just can't seem to make it work. But if you can make it work, please just let me know, and we will see you next time. Yeah.